What is going on, my fellow cult members? We are back with some more War Thunder, and today we're going to be taking a look at the STB-1 since the vote was for Japan this time. You guys can go ahead and place your vote right now up in the top corner in that little poll that'll be popping up for what nation we play next. But let's just do a quick overview of the STB-1 and why a lot of people think it's the best 7.7 MBT and why I personally don't agree with that. Now, the STB-1, I will definitely agree. It is probably one of, if not the best tanks at 7.7. The reason why I personally don't think it's the best, despite statistically being the best, is down to what it has backing it up. If you look at Japan's tech tree, it's honestly almost embarrassing when you look at the STB-1. You're almost better off using the STB-1 as a backup to play 8.7 than you are to try to play 7.7 with it, because the best things you have to back it up, Type 60, Type 75, and the whole reproduction, maybe the Type 61 if you're feeling like playing that thing in a full up tier, which I really don't recommend. In my personal experience, I think that the best 7.7 lineup and vehicle would have to be the AMX-30. I so much would rather be playing this thing in almost every circumstance than playing the STB-1, because you have not only the AMX-30, but you can then back it up. Even though these vehicles aren't necessarily the same BR, you have more vehicles that are closer in BR, and they're just better performing vehicles in an up tier, like the 1390 with its autoloader and low profile. I'd so much rather be using that over something like the whole reproduction in the worst possible matchup, which would be 8.7. It's basically useless. Not that you can't get kills with it, but you just lose the entire point of the vehicle being well armored. It just becomes meaningless to have that extra armor. And the gun, yeah, it's decent, but so is everything else at the tier. And probably what I would say is the best 7.7 lineup is still the German 7.7 with the Leopard, and, well, you can't get the mouse anymore, so it's definitely not as good, but with the Raketen and the Leopard, it's just a much better lineup, even though due to not having the stabilizer, I'd say the Leopard's a little bit worse than the STB-1, but you get the advantage of a faster reload and more mobility. So just to me, the downsides of the STB-1, whether it be the longer reload, the worse lineup, just make it a less enjoyable vehicle to play at 7.7, even though it's technically better, if that makes any sense. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. I'm really curious to know, because a lot of people say that the STB-1 is the best. Some people even go as far as to say it's under-tiered. So let me know what you think of that. Personally, I don't believe that, but let's see. Maybe after playing, my opinion will change. Like, for real, am I the only one that has the issue of smoke from, like, shells or artillery just refusing to clear, but the enemy can just see right through it? Is it something with my settings? Like, I'm genuinely curious, because I've messed around with my settings a bunch, and I have not been able to figure out why it does that. Like, I thought it would have had to do with the haze or something, but, like, I don't see a setting that's, like, smoke density. It feels like people just turn the smoke density all the way down so it clears for them instantly. I even played on ULQ a little bit to test it one time, and I didn't notice any difference. It just seemed like it was exactly the same. I don't know. Please, teach me. Teach me the ways of the ULQ settings that allow you to just see through smoke instantly. There's something to my left? Gosh, I hope that's a friendly. Oh my. The armor on this thing is just fantastic compared, like, when you're top tier in this thing, the armor is quite good. It honestly feels more like you're playing, when you're top tier in this, it feels a lot like a Panther 2. Just good survivability with a quite powerful gun. I just wish it had a better reload. That would really sell this tank for me. something crawling around over there. I can hear it. Oh, there it is. Careful, Vickers. Oh, we got an IS-3. Try to creep up on this fool. Can't see anything that snuck through that road. There is a tank over there. It just dropped some artillery. Oh, a couple of them. Alright, we gotta try to make an advance. Go support our team before the tanks push right through and collapse our flank. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Thank goodness you had a lot of ammo, Leopard. Because I shot way... Ah, I saw him at the last second. I shot way too high on that guy. Alright, update from earlier. Getting the brake system is almost done, I believe. Finally got my artillery, and I'm now researching brakes, which will hopefully help this thing's atrocious turning. But it will do nothing to help Gaijin's map designers thinking that putting mud on a slope is a good idea. Bradley, please don't do that. If you're in an autocannon vehicle or you have a lot of machine guns, just please, PSA, don't shoot your teammates. It's incredibly irritating, and all it does is give you away and your team. No, I guess Bradley drivers don't really care. Anyways, let's try to get into a position to ambush tanks. I kind of always try to do that with this tank. I don't really like to play the offensive because, like I said, you don't have a good backup for this thing. But if you can get into a good position where you can flank or snipe, it can do quite well. You just basically have to play this thing like you have no backup. I would have shot him, but it would have just soaked into the bush. My fault for not loading Sabo. Like, can Gaijin please just fix that? Can we please not have heat detonate on bushes? It just cost me my tank there. I could have fired if I had any other round loaded. Oh, just fire APDS. Oh, yes, of course. And then when I shoot at a Russian tank, it doesn't pen. Thank you, commenter. Like, this is what I'm talking about. M103. Oh, I have 50 cals. I'll shoot it out of his turret. Stop. I don't want it. I don't like that. Alright, I'm assuming that that Centauro is chilling over here. Probably around that same corner when he killed. Yeah, I think I see him. We're right in those bushes over there. Which means my heat rounds are worthless. Not sure if he's doing that intentionally or if he's actually smart in using the bushes to hide from heat. My guess would be that he's just lucky. Alright, Brazilian M103, you go right ahead and take the hit from the Centauro. Thank you. Oh no, this guy's clever. This guy is ridiculously clever. He's 100% using those bushes to hide. Well, thankfully I can still weasel my shot through the bush. Alright, and we have a BMP on the left, but don't worry. Only a 35-second repair on the tracks. It's all good. I'm just glad my turret's not exposed. Go away. I had a feeling there was something behind me, but I didn't see anything when I looked before. Oh, there we go. There had to be something around here. What are you? Can't even see him. Alright, let's try to close the distance so that he cannot depress down on us. I believe if we push up this way, we can get a flanking shot on him. Okay, dead tank. Just had to make sure. Where is it? Oh, loader. And he J'd out. Interesting. Not quite sure why. Oh, that was the guy that was over here. Okay. I thought he was in... Or maybe it could have been that as well, I suppose. Regardless, he is dead now, and I am not. Alright. Clean up the SPAA. And head a little bit further forward. I'm not a super huge fan of this setup of this map. I actually do really like Kuban. I think it's one of the best maps that they've done. That sounds like an engine. That is definitely an engine. It's one of the best maps they've done a rework to, but still isn't perfect. Well, actually, come to think of it, it's like the only map they've done a rework to, so I guess there's not much competition. Okay, let's see if we can manage this. This tank has like Russian level gun depression when you don't use the suspension, and the suspension is quite awkward to use, as I said before. It's not hard, it's just awkward because it basically relies on you taking your hand off your mouse to use it. I mean, I guess if you set it up right, you wouldn't have to, but I like having all the keys around my WASD devoted to like stuff that I usually use, not suspension while I'm blind. Alright guys, well I do apologize, but that's about as much as I can stand of playing this tank and just playing Japan in general. I know you guys think I'm this like massive weeb, but it just, there is no amount of anything that can make me enjoy playing Japan for long periods of time. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the lineups, but I do hope that you enjoyed the video and kind of got a little bit of why I don't think this thing is the best tank, even though it might statistically be at this BR. So let me know if you agree or disagree, and be sure to place your vote for the next nation up in the corner, and I'll see you with whatever you decide on.